Teachers who caught students cheating. What was the most clever method you've ever discovered? I've been teaching AP Physics for 15 years. I always give the same final exam format, 20 multiple choice questions, followed by 3 complex problems, and I pride myself on creating new questions each semester, so students can't just memorize old tests. The day of the final, everything seemed normal. I was monitoring the class when I noticed something odd about one of my quietest students. Sarah, she kept looking down at her calculator, then typing something, and then looking up at the ceiling in what seemed like frustration. Now, students looking at calculators during physics exams is completely normal, but the pattern was strange. She would look at it, type something, look upward, wait exactly 30 seconds, then repeat this process. As I watched more closely, I realized 3 other students were doing similar things, and occasionally, they'd all look at each other with what I can only describe as panic. I decided to walk around casually, and when I passed Sarah's desk, I glanced at her calculator screen expecting to see some formula she had saved, but instead, there was text scrolling across it that said, "No response. Try again." That's when it clicked. These kids had programmed their TI-84 calculators to communicate with each other through the school's Bluetooth system. They were sending answers back and forth in real time. I didn't confront them immediately. I wanted to see how deep this went, so I kept watching and noticed that the ringleader seemed to be my star student Jason, who barely looked at his calculator but was typing furiously. Every time the others seemed stuck after the test, I asked all 4 students to stay behind, and I simply placed their calculators on my desk and said, "I know," the color drained from their faces immediately, and Jason started to explain they had spent months developing a program that allowed them to message each other through the calculators. It used the school's Bluetooth network, and they had created a simple code system where each answer choice had a specific symbol. But here's the kicker, the really clever part. They had programmed the calculators to erase all evidence of the communications if the calculator remained inactive for more than 2 minutes, or if a certain panic button combination was pressed. I was honestly impressed by the technical skill it took to do this. 4 high school seniors had essentially created a secure messaging system using outdated technology. They clearly understood the material, they just wanted insurance. Instead of sending them straight to the principal, I made them an offer. They would get zeros on the exam, but I wouldn't report them to administration if they would teach me exactly how their system worked and agree to help the IT department patch the security vulnerability they had discovered. They were shocked, but agreed immediately and spent their winter break working with our IT staff. They all retook a different version of the final in my classroom, with only basic calculators, and all passed with B's or higher. I still have their program locked in my desk drawer. Sometimes I look at it and feel this strange mix of disappointment and pride. They cheated, yes, but they also created something genuinely innovative that even our IT director was impressed by this year. All smart devices have to be placed in a box at the front of the room during tests, and I've started incorporating more coding challenges into my curriculum, giving students like Jason legitimate ways to show off their technical skills. The 4 of them are all in college now. Jason's studying computer science at MIT and occasionally sends me emails about his coursework, and Sarah, who was the quietest of the group, is majoring in cybersecurity, which I find both ironic and fitting. Sometimes the best teaching moments come from catching students at their worst. I still failed them on that test, but in a way I feel like they taught me more that semester than I taught them.